This is Max Rempel with Nadalee Hill, and you can see us at xg1.org and subscribe to our newsletter to get invites to our webinars. And also I should show the hucolo.org. It's a human colony, and we are broadcasting on Human Colony web YouTube channel. So join us there. You can find, if you also want everything about me, find me on maxrempel.com, and all links are there. And there is another one, I guess I should do it. And I'm doing research on DNA resonance, and that's the official site of dnaresonance.org. So the topic today, I want to start with the topic, and the topic is what happens after the contact. The contact with aliens land on White House lawn or whatever, and then the contact happens, but people kind of stop their fantasy right there. That aliens come, and then usually they have a disastrous, catastrophic scenarios, and I want to draw a positive picture. So that's the main topic, and I will have some sort of presentation. You're welcome to interrupt me. I hope it will be short, but I might drag longer. And then I want you to challenge pretty much all the basic assumptions. It's a work of intuition and knowledge. I did a lot of research. I know how the matrix is set up, how the universe is set up. I have pretty good metaphysical understanding. I spoke to aliens for many years through various ways, including channelers, some sort of slow telepathic connection, and through contactees who actually spoke to them physically in person. So I know a lot about what's actually there. And then there is intuitive interaction. And finally, the last few weeks I was practicing this with AI, voice to perplexity, voice to ChatGPT sucks, and writing to Claude. And so AI was a sounding board, and it came up with some understanding and some words, so that I have to acknowledge the input from AI as well. Especially perplexity was very cool. Claude is smart, perplexity is good in talking, actually. You talk in real time, and that's super nice. Walking on the nature and speaking to someone who can say, yes, that's great, that's how it will be. All right? So, xg1.org, I should bring it back. The announcement is we are genotyping star seeds. We are doing genetic analysis of the star seeds. At the moment, we prefer to take full families, full trios, where we have father, mother, and an adult child. And you sign an informed consent that we analyze it for DNA manipulation by the aliens. So it's all three people have to consent to that. And then we just do the analysis, and we look at strange modifications that occurred at the time of conceptions. And at the moment, what we see is we do see the signals, but they are sort of, we cannot tell if it's technical artifacts or if it's real. It looks like real, but we need more data to prove it's a really real signal. And that would be the evidence of alien DNA modifications that happened during the conception of the star seeds. The understanding is that the aliens abduct parents, create a fetus, create an embryo, implant back in the mother, and two human parents are real parents, but there is a lot of modifications which come from alien parents, and that is going on for many years, and now we can analyze it very cheaply. So the kits are, at the moment, they are on sale for, I think, for $25. Yeah, $25 per person, so total $75, and you get a discovery. And you just buy the kits from MyHeritage, and you submit your samples, and send me the codes of the samples. I analyze, I tell you the results. And all the instructions are at xg1.org, extraterrestrial genetics 1.org. Nadalee, now you can speak up a little bit, and then I will present my thing, and I will ask you to comment and argue.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much, Max. That was a great intro. Today is going to be a fantastic conversation. I can feel it, and there's a lot of key points that we need to talk about here today. It's like what happens after all this comes out once we actually get the proof within the DNA. How are people going to react to this before they have a consciousness shift? Now, I do believe there is a consciousness shift coming within humanity that's going to help them understand how we're all connected. But if we get this DNA information out before the consciousness shift, it may rattle some people and it may cause some discrimination against certain individuals like us who classify themselves as star seeds or hybrids. Same thing. But we need to talk about some of those important things as well. And type 3 hybrids, which you call off world hybrids, our children, how they are going to integrate into society in the future. um, those will come after the consciousness shift, but we need to talk about how to prepare mankind for those kind of interactions before the consciousness shift happens. Like getting people to understand that there's more than their reality than what they've been taught. So I think that's some important information that we should discuss today. And protection rights for experiencers and people who are hybrids here on the planet, type 2 hybrids, born here hybrid is what Max calls them, I believe, right? So we
Yep.
need protection for us as well from discrimination before the consciousness shift because it's a real thing, unfortunately. But I think I don't think we're going to see any blowback from the government or anything against us because they've been watching us for a long time. They know who we are from birth. They take DNA samples probably from birth, right, Max? And they already have us all classified and
Yeah,
located
yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. So, but there's so many of us out there that they can't really track and watch us all closely, and they don't have enough manpower for that. So the time is now. We are part of disclosure, and this is it right here, guys. So thank you so much for being here, and let's get this going.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. They initially in the 70s we hear they tried to capture all the star seeds, all the hybrids, expecting that we are implants and we will be working. We're doing negative stuff, but then they realized we are light workers, new agers. We in a dreamland, and we speak to aliens telepathically. So we are not that dangerous. We are not into violence at all.
That's why they started the disinformation program to make us look crazy because it was so
Yeah,
easy for them.
yeah. We are hippies essentially. The
Yeah.
hippies in the '60s are us. So let's jump into the idea of post contact. Let's skip all that, all
Okay.
of the now and next few years. But Bashar says 2027. It's very soon, and he gives a range 2027 to 2030. So next 5 years is very likely that contact is finally happening. We expected. Some people expected that in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 10s, 2012. We hoped the contact will happen. We're still hoping, but let's assume it's happening. The world has changed. We see that the world is changing and very fast. So I think what was holding maybe the AI. I think the presence of AI changes the layout a lot, and in a couple of years, the humanity will change so much that it will be so much easier to do the contact without non-catastrophic contact. There are tons of scenarios where the contact is actually catastrophic. Tons of. It's very easy to come up with a scenario where the contact is catastrophic. That's it. It's a disaster, and I will just skip all of those. Let's focus on positive. So first thing to understand is that we are in a collective dream. We are in a collective dream. It's a matrix.
Okay.
And especially those who are connected to the spiritual world, people who are into psychedelics, into meditation, and some people are just naturally out there. So for us, it's so obvious that this is an illusion, and in synchronicities, we can see that this is a computer game or naturalistic, natural spiritual game in which things are interconnected. And this interconnectedness is the best proof that it is not super real. It's all for us to entertain us. And we actually synthesize the world outside from inside out. What we think makes the reality. And that's why it is so helpful to create that positive attraction point where we get attracted by the positive scenario. So that's why I want to actually picture. And so far, I haven't seen anyone to draw that positive scenario. So that's the first time. And for me, it's super fun, super much a lot of fun to do something first time ever. And first time ever, I wrote a book. It was Welcome to Earth, a guide for aliens, where I explained to the aliens how the Earth is designed. It was right after I started speaking to aliens through a channel of Jim Charles. And I realized many of them have very little idea how we live here. They are very surprised. They don't get it. They don't understand how we end up here. So I wrote a book, and I'm told, again, by the aliens that it's a required reading. Everyone who works with the Earth Project is required to read that book. And it's a fun book. It's a autobiography, how we live here, and also I developed there the plan of the contact, how we bring up the contact, and what do we do after the contact. So it is 2013, 12 years ago, I already had a pretty good plan. At the time, there was no AI. So, I mean, no working AI. AI appeared like 2-3 years ago, like a real working one. And it progresses really well. So that is a huge factor. And there is tons more developments and factors. So at the time, I had very limited, only the first conversation. And after that, I had 10 or 12 years of weekly conversations with aliens. So I learned a lot more. So the first factor is we create our reality, and every human is attracted to the timeline which corresponds to our vibration. So if you are high, you will end up in a positive timeline. And if you are panicking, negative, depressed, angry, hurt, sick, hungry, dying, then you end up in a negative timeline. So success is actually attracts success. So if you are successful in your terms, then you are attracted to the successful timeline. So to me, success is life, and children be alive and happy, playing, people kind, wars stopped. So I'm building this scenario. So that's why I'm focusing on it. Let's create it, and then we believe in it, and then we are attracted to it, and we end up, all the humanity ends up there. And in this scenario, the first factor is that it's now very logical. The aliens will not give us any dangerous technologies right away, and pretty much every technology is dangerous. So we don't expect that aliens will come and give us free energy, propulsion, creating things out of nothing, and so on, and lots of other magic. They will not. I will elaborate on that. There are exceptions, but the major idea is that they're not coming to bring the gifts. The second idea is super obvious, is that if they are smart, and some of them are very smart, especially because they consult with humans. I know there are tons of humans working out there, many thousands, many tens of thousands of humans working with aliens, like out there, working from there. And I interviewed extensively one with a nickname Shames. So unfortunately, he passed away out there, but he gave the most incredible and most important and insightful information from there on actually how humans work there on the contact scenario and post-contact on ascension. So based on that, we know that they are smart. The plan is smart. Is first, we understand that will come with a unified program. It will not be, right now we are dealing with lots of different races visiting us. And the reason there is lots of them is because most of them are pirates, hackers. They hack through the system, they come here through the exceptions, and that's why we deal with very diversified and competing agendas, negatives, positives, and so on. But when we deal with a contact, it will be one program coming from the Alliance Galactic Federation. So there will be alliance which works with the planet, and they will have lots of people coordinated. And aliens are very good in coordinating because they are telepathic, they have artificial intelligence, so they are intelligent, they will coordinate, they will play by the rules. And the next thing is that because they are smart, they will not take control of the planet. As you understand, the change will be, as any change will be harsh, and this change will be radical, big, fast. As any change, it will have lots of people unhappy. And if you grab the power, then humans are designed in such a way that any foreigner, any alien taking the power would be an enemy. So the aliens will not take the control. They will not take the responsibility. They will show up, say, hi, we come with peace. Here is the truth. They will share the information, but they want to be invited, and they want to deal with a unified Earth government. So in a couple of years, I think the negotiations go already for many, many years, for generations. They want the major Earth powers to come into a coalition and agreement and invite them. And actually, they want to negotiate with one government, not with many. So that's a logical prediction that in a couple of years, or whatever time is good for contact, the Western world will somehow agree with China, at least on one major point, that they will form a coalition to interact with the galaxy. And the benefits from being in the coalition is that you get the information, you get intel. You know, all the aliens will share all the negative influences, all the pirates, all the negative human manipulators will be revealed to the coalition. So they will have the information. That's very valuable. And there'll be more. I think I suggested 12 years ago, I suggested that they should give the leaders, they give free medical care, free Medicaid. And I think, and to their families, I think for that the leaders will comply with anything, like long life, like, extended life, maybe extra couple 100 years. I think that will buy anyone. And my friends from Human Colony said, how about us? We want that too. I said, yeah. That's my suggestion, and let's see what the aliens decide. But I think the program, I suggest that they should do the program of education. They don't have to replace the elected leaders. They can just do the program of education. They can take them for a visit. Like in Russia, I lived in Russia until 1996, and at that time I was 32 years old. I'm from 1960, born in 1964. So Khrushchev was replaced in 1964, but he was charmed by the West and by America. So he was taken for a visit, and he really liked corn. So he ordered to plant corn everywhere in Russia, and the climate there is not good, so it was a disaster. Corn just doesn't grow in Russia; it's too cold there for corn. But he also borrowed a lot of other innovations and car models and so on, and music and movies and stuff. So visits to the foreign worlds by our elected representatives by the leaders, I think would change their mind a lot. I don't know if they're visiting now. Maybe they're already starting. Maybe they already have visited. I don't know. Next thing is, so we have the aliens coming and dealing with the coalition of the governments and simply announcing that they exist. And that's a big ontological shock for the majority of the humanity. Not for us, but for majority. For the majority. Basically, it just turns your mind around. And in Russia, I observed that when 86 to 93, 94 to 95, 86 to 96, something like that, there was a big transformation. And the major transformation happened around 1988, where people just realized that the old ideas were completely wrong, and here is a new set of new ideas. At that time, we had pretty much very directed very limited set of news outlets: television, radio, newspaper, magazines, books. Very limited, like 3 programs on television, 5 radio stations, and 5 foreign radio stations broadcasting in Russian. So when they all started changing their message, it was a big ontological shock that it was very unified. And people just switched. Some switched right away because it was welcome. Many people hated it, but people accepted it because it was unified message. Basically switching from socialism, Soviet socialism, to American free market, to Western free market, Western free market, with all the liberties and stuff, democracy and stuff. So that was new to us, and we expected again that Americans will come take charge. They didn't. They didn't want that. Nobody wanted to take charge in Russia. And so I know for sure the aliens wouldn't take control. They would take control through advising, but not through direct control.
Except for nukes, right? They won't allow
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Did I say that? You read my
No,
mind.
you
Yeah.
didn't. You didn't mention it yet. No.
So obviously they already started from the beginning. They demonstrated to everyone that they don't allow global nuclear war. They allowed a few accidents, few incidents, to demonstrate that just so people know what it is. But and they might allow 1 or 2 more, but they certainly wouldn't allow the whole world nuclear war, anything major. I know that they actually prevented a lot of disasters already. They prevented not only nuclear, but other terraforming, other global, natural, and artificial disasters. There is a whole program of keeping the Earth in a good shape.
That's right. Earth is too precious to just let something happen to it.
Right. So the main condition will be that the aliens will ensure that there will be no wars anymore. So the global government will be ensuring that there is no wars.
Yep, because the nuclear bomb was actually the worst invention ever because it actually affects the universe itself. It literally tears the fabric of reality and it hurts the universe. So that's a big no-no.
Yeah, there is a few laws of the matrix, a few laws of the collective dream. And first law, the matrix has to preserve itself.
Mm-hmm.
And this Earth server of the game is very precious. They want to keep it running. And if something happens, they just restore it from the backup and restore the timeline so it continues.
If you think about it, starseeds are kind of like the antivirus. That's why we've been a part of it. That's why we've been inserted alien DNA over 4 generations to be able to help humanity to correct the sociology of humanity to put them back on the right track. But you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So we can offer help, like you talked about earlier. They will only influence. We are the influence. We are here doing the gray area work. Like we came in through the back door, but it's not like nefarious or anything. We're just here to offer guidance and spirituality, be healers, helpers, channelers to help bridge the gap between humanity and the ETs in a better world.
Absolutely, yep. We are here to help, and we are here to make you guys happy, and you must be happy. No, no, actually, humanity is very. It's like very. There is a lot of self-destructive tendencies, and it balances on the verge, on the brim of self-destruction. So, self-destruction happened before start. I guess the Atlantis is the most recent one. The Atlantis was humans, but not the same species. It was a different species. Atlanteans were different,
Yeah, a different type of
a
helper.
different race, different species. Humans were at the same time around, but they weren't part of the Atlantean civilization. We were on our outskirts. And before that, there was a destruction of Mars. It was basically self-destroyed. And then there was a destruction of another planet, which is called Marduk, which is now asteroid belt. And in the first humans in this galaxy were Lyrans, and Lyran planet was destroyed by the reptilians. So there are these old catastrophes. So it certainly can happen. The catastrophe certainly can happen. But the same souls incarnated here now, especially the Atlanteans, to replay the scenario and to get it right. So there is a lot of help to finally get through that. And also we replay the scenario of self-destruction through genetic engineering. Genetic engineering is already going on pretty strongly, and Atlanteans messed up genetic engineering pretty badly, so they are misused it. That's why they had to be destroyed. And the Greys, in a parallel reality, they destroyed themselves. They destroyed the collective genome and the collective biofield and the DNA field through excessive genetic manipulation. So we are aiming. There is a tendency at the same thing, creating a cyborg, a human computer interface, human robotic interface, robotic hybrid cyborg that again is possible. It's aiming at again creating the same trouble as the Greys, that the vibration will be messed up, collective vibration will be messed up. So
Yeah.
So we know about that, and that would be one of the major messages by the positive aliens, saying that this is a dangerous path. But again, the choice is, and so first principle of the matrix is self-preservation. Second is respect for free will, free choice. So that is respected. So humans are bred and guarded and farmed to actually express free choice. There is a lot of care from outside and a lot of manipulation, but humans finally are making free choice. All the things that happen at the moment are again the result of free choices. The humanity keeps choosing stuff. What we get is what we choose collectively, and a lot of choices are there. And the third principle of the matrix is maximization of drama, to get as much drama as possible. So we don't expect that the drama will disappear. The drama will be here, and you can see if there is no drama today, tomorrow will be certainly something dramatic. So this transformation, again, will be pretty dramatic.
Agreed.
So, how the aliens would help prevent the war? First, it will be the role of the alliance, global human alliance, major powers to finally police and stop all the wars. But the aliens already provide the drones that they drive, or I guess they program to stop the nuclear war. The nuclear war was planned over a year ago, and it didn't start. The new so-called New Jersey drones, they're all over the planet, hanging over the military facilities, demonstrating that the war is not permitted and not
Yep, the
preventing
drones.
it. And preventing it. So-called New Jersey drones.
Yeah.
They are alien, and they pretend to be human-looking drones, but they are not. They
That's
just
correct.
it was a very nice trick. They didn't reveal themselves as aliens, but they pretend to be human. They look like human, but they are not. It's just a projection. All right.
I love it.
So the aliens come and offer information. They reveal a lot of information. They reveal the true history of humanity. They reveal the manipulation gradually. And they reveal that there are hybrids on the planet, tons of hybrids. I estimate maybe between 2 and 10% are hybrids. And we have Earth-born hybrids which grew up in. You can give your pitch, Nadalee, if you like.
Sorry. I was just saying, yeah, I'm one of them. Yeah,
Go ahead.
he calls them earthborn hybrids. I call them type 2 hybrids because type 1 is the rest of humanity. All of you have a tiny little bit of alien DNA inside of your genome. But this is what we're doing the genetic test for to prove that type 2 hybrids here, earthborn hybrids, have been genetically altered and more DNA has been inserted into us more than type 1 hybrids. We've been here a very, very long time. We've been here throughout history. We have to have these particular vessels to be able to help you properly, to be able to teach you and perform healing and channeling and bridge the gap between you and the galactic community. So type 3 hybrids are our children, and we've been coming out talking about our hybrid children. Type 3 hybrids are off-world hybrids for a long time now, since the 1960s, but nobody's been listening, and they think we're just like crazy. But we're here to change that narrative, and we need to get you ready for that because when we go down the good timeline, you guys are going to be able to meet our children, and they're going to be living amongst humanity, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing. Um, anything to add to that, Max? Where were you going with that? I probably took it in a different direction.
No, you're good, good, good. So, so this will be revealed, right? And I think some of the hybrids are. I know for sure there are hybrids which were brought up there, type 3, right? And so the alien from alien cultures and alien bases and alien planets, human-looking hybrids, and then they were implanted here. Some of them are just tourists visiting for fun and cultural exchange. They learn and they just visit. And some of them are agents actually working hard to prepare for the contact and transformation. And this would be highly positioned somewhere in the army, in the corporations, in the governments, and in churches and so on. So there are hybrids secretly working agents, and some of them will be gradually revealed. Gradually, I think so, like for safety, I wouldn't reveal all of them. Some of the secret government powers, they know how to track hybrids by vibration. So and there are tracking implants and so on. So they likely know the agents, but we don't. And sometimes I suspect some people to be hybrids, but again, I mean, they look more human than humans. The technology is so great. The technology of creating these human bodies is so great that you can't really tell the hybrid from a non-hybrid by looks, even by facial dynamics or the body postures. They are pretty humanized. They are already very advanced. Not all of them, but some of them are very advanced. All right, and then we have they are telepathic. The aliens are telepathic, and the hybrids that were born in the outer space and on outer cultures and brought up here, implants, agents and tourists, they're telepathic, and they read minds, and they can read minds of vocal people. And
Yeah.
also, yeah, and also there are autistic telepaths discovered by Diane Hennessy and Kai Dickens, and there is a whole movement which was created by the podcast called The Telepathy Tapes that came out in September a year ago, and now there is a whole movement. We are awakened to the telepathy on the planet, and this telepathy is being taught by the non-speaking telepaths, non-speaking autists to vocal people. So this is something that can be taught. Not everybody is talented in telepathy, but kind people and people who meditate and actually spiritually connected, they are more teachable. So there are already vocal people who actually can hear and speak telepathically. And it's one of the practices is to speak to animals, because animals you can see, they understand. All right, so these are also telepaths. So, and there are type 2 earthborn hybrids awakening. So immediately, like in the next few years, we'll have people popping into the telepathy, vocal people gaining the telepathy. And what also will happen soon after, I guess, in preparation to contact, and soon after, the vibration of the planet will be finally released. It was held back as the planet and collective humanity vibration will be uplifted.
The
So
ascension.
it's called ascension. So now we can see the waves of up and downs, and these waves will start going up and up, and people will have to catch up. Like some of the ascension vibrations are bring us closer to the aliens, but they feel they make us sick. It's called ascension symptoms. So catching up is a work, and a work which requires meditation and actually paying a lot of attention to health and actually to beliefs, as Bashar says, like what you believe affects what actually happens to you. So people will pop into telepathy gradually, and we will have layers of humanity. So basically the main problem is that humanity will change slowly. There will be a huge population which is old-fashioned, and it's ingrained and trained in it, programmed in it. It's the whole, the majority, 90+% are already solidified in their culture, and the culture is slow to change. So I observed that in Russia. Like I said, 86, 88 was a huge change. The news hit us, and people had to live in a new reality, but they gradually changed. Some just died. Some just couldn't take it. They became sick and died. It was just couldn't find a place in the new world. I had that experience of close people, very nice one, but they just couldn't vibrate in that new vibration. It was different. They didn't see themselves there. But others adopted, and what was the funniest part was whoever was on the top before came out on the top after. People just switched their beliefs, switched their mode of vibration, and again, successful people remain successful. The artists, the politicians, the business people, actually in Russia it wasn't business people, it was directors, executives became executives. Just Soviet system executives became post-Soviet system executives. So what I'm saying is it's ontological shock, but people just go through that. People are malleable, flexible, they can adapt. People are adaptable. All right. So we'll get the armies unemployed essentially. Huge armies, like a huge effort of humanity goes on fighting each other on every level, on military level, on economical level, on industrial level, on political, cultural, lots of fight is happening. And that's very natural for humans. That will not go away. But the war will be prohibited, and I think the aliens will help to actually police, and their New Jersey drones would make sure that there is no wars, and also the intel, they read minds, they know everything that happens. The intel will allow the coalition to actually prevent all the upheavals and all the wars. Also, we hear, it's a pretty confident observation that so far the alien alliance, the Galactic Federation, is protecting the solar system from invaders, and they already employ humans. So humans just sign up and go there to work, and that will continue. They will not provide the military technology directly to the surface, but they will still hire military to work on solar system defense. So that is happening. So humans are pretty good fighters, and they can easily, many of them can easily use alien technologies to actually do the protections. All right. So the economy starts being transformed right away, because the economy is built on currency exchange, which is based on the military power. So dollar is so strong because America is the strongest military power in the world. And imagine if you just prohibit war, the currency exchange would be shaken. Free market also is based on deception. It's like because people don't know that they invest. If people start actually knowing what's going on, I don't know, the market will change radically. Marketing is deception for sure. It's just if you study marketing, what is like how you actually promote the product. It's an art of deception.
Yep.
Yeah. So and now we get telepaths on the surface, the hybrids and autistic telepaths reading minds, and the aliens reading minds, and the secrets start coming out. So deception-based economy is slowly will start diminishing. I think the economy will have still the old economy going on. I hope so, and we'll have new economies sort of rising up. The main thing where the armies and the unemployed people will be employed, I think, is the ecological work, reforestation. I think that's so obvious. Once you ask that question and pronounce it, it was the main message of the aliens forever. Guys, we need your planet to be green, and that's the main concern. We need the oceans to be clean. We need your manufacturing to be clean. So, the main trouble is how to make the manufacturing in China and other manufacturing countries ecological. So that's huge. Luckily, China has this infrastructure to actually make it happen. So there will be a huge effort on cleaning up the planet. So that will be reorientation of economy from war to ecology and planting the forests. The private property, I assume, will remain. Possibly there will be introduction of some sort of universal currency, because when the currency is not based on military power, then what it is based on, I'm not sure. Maybe it will be gradual, I'm not sure. That thing I don't see clearly. Either just still will be like a market of currencies, or it will be just one universal currency, or maybe multiple universal currencies. But I think That is one of the key questions. And here I am at loss. I just know it has to happen somehow, one way or another. So we'll get the old capitalistic system, which is highly regulated. It's not free market. It's very highly regulated market. And we'll have emerging or extending the distribution system, which is called, I guess, modern socialism of the Scandinavian type, where the government runs the programs, employs the people, and pay and distributes the wealth through, I guess, the government, but the government will change by itself a lot. So it'll be like wealth distribution. And I'm not sure it's only governments. I think it could be some sort of Uber-like economy, Uber-like systems like Uber, Lyft, Airbnb are the major things which are familiar, DoorDash, where people work at their free time. They sign in, they work, they get the pay, they leave. So these are the computational systems. And also in this system, like an Uber, the software tells you where to go and what to do. An Uber and Lyft. You just open the application and it tells you where to go and what to do. On Amazon, you get the software which tells you, grab that thing, put it there. So that sort of automated, AI-driven, coordinated manufacturing, and it's distributed all over. It doesn't have to be local. It's global. I think is where the economy moves. And here we come the next factor. So we have the factor: the aliens come, the hybrids are here, the telepaths are here, the secrets come out, and AI is getting better and better. And the aliens, I'm sure they can help making AI more helpful and more coordinated. At the moment, every AI system which we touch is sort of independent. You open AI which doesn't remember anything from outside, just the training. It can search, but it doesn't have the coordination from anywhere. And what is coming, obviously, is coordination through AI between people. Everyone gets one or several advisors. You can get the advisor on the phone. You have like that kind of advisor. I will show like that's my normal screen. Can you see it? So you get multiple advisors like here, like five AI or 7 AI agents, AI services, and you choose the one which you like. And but I think the aliens could help make it helpful and not evil.
Yeah.
That's the hope. It doesn't have to be aliens. It could be hybrids. It could be us. It could be telepaths. It could be psychics. But there should be some way to make sure it's not hacked, it's not manipulated in a negative way.
Agreed.
It's not manipulated in a negative way. And it's not manipulating us in a negative way. So, two economies, traditional capitalistic, coordinated socialistic programs, and the third economy is telepathic. Essentially, that's what aliens do. They have telepathy, psychically, spiritually driven economy, spiritual tribal economy. Essentially, instead of money, you just know when you need to give and know when you can take. You don't have to ask. You ask your spiritual guidance, and there is a spiritual entity called L, which is responsible for distribution. So L is spiritually distributing the wealth, the material goods, and I guess equivalents of money is equivalent of labor. So they distribute something like that. You are contributing to the Tao flow, and then Tao flow contributes to your well-being. And that is nothing new. Like we have spiritual traditions in India, Buddhism, China, where this is high art, and this real saints, they are they are working by that principle. They don't take, they don't give. I mean, whatever they take, whatever they give is guided by the spirit. And I guess I should get distracted, but stories about Nim Karoli Baba, he just shows that he can create money from nothing. No, I should tell the anecdote. So there was another guru before Nim Karoli Baba, older one. So they built a church somewhere in India, and he didn't give the money directly to the workers, but he would say, after you finish your day, go pick up any stone from the road. Under the stone, you will find your pay. And the workers would get new rupees, and everybody was happy. But the police was concerned because the rupees were all new, like they were all fresh printed. So the police came to him and said, like, we are concerned because there is lots of new rupees like appearing from this church construction, temple construction. And the guru said, no problem, I will tell you where I get the rupees. So he grabbed the police officers and he went to the jungle. He went to the big, pond in the jungle and called the crocodile. The crocodile came out. So the crocodile opened the mouth, and there were new rupees there. So the guru took the rupees from the crocodile's mouth. But the police ran away and never bothered him again. So the money is an illusion, as you know, and whenever the need is, the money appears. When there is a spiritual support. So that's kind of a spiritual economy, and where you just know what you need to take and know what you need to give, and you don't have to like expect any reward for that. It just happens. And all of us, we are trying to live that law by that principle, and that will just become huge. And non-speaking autists, they already live by that, and the aliens live by that. It just comes to us. And finally, the happy part, the visitations. I don't know how soon visitations will start. Probably they will start quite soon. The relatives will come. Our children will visit, and some of them are big already, and some of them are growing faster than us, so they might be like our age. And hopefully our parents will come. We have human parents, but every hybrid starseed has at least one alien parent, but could be like, they're more like grandparents, but some have like 7 alien grandparents who are related. So they might come. And finally, we probably will start visiting. I'm not sure if they will let me visit, but some of the hybrids will visit their parents in their worlds. And I'm hoping that they will do the visits for leadership, business, cultural, political leadership. Will start visiting the alien worlds and learn how aliens live. And that's a huge choice for humanity. Which model will we follow? Because it's a collective decision. In Soviet times, that started to happen. First people who visited brought back a lot of information. And we had foreigners visiting. Unfortunately, there was a language barrier, but we still asked them and we learned stuff from them. And there were old immigrants, people who left long time ago, visited us, and they brought us the culture that they learned. So that was a huge influx of people who just came back from foreign worlds and brought back the culture. So we learned a lot about free market economy and stuff. So I think it's just the same. It's people who left long time ago to work in alien worlds will come back, and they will bring back the flavor and the vibration and the knowledge. And finally, the telepaths, they are not only telepathic in person in a physical contact, they can be telepathic with the aliens. And the channelers, that's what we do. The channelers channel, they can talk to anyone telepathically. So the information, actually, the technologies will come not directly from the program, but through the telepathic connections and through people who are coming back. And we already know now there are companies, and somebody introduced me like somebody is present right here. Okay, I have to take it. Nadalee, you have a floor for like a few minutes.
Okay. So I want to touch on some stuff that he didn't go over. So free housing. I think we should all have free housing, especially like when you turn 18 or a certain age. I think the way like you said, the new economy that we're going towards, it's like energy driven. So when you are capable to go out into the world and give your energy to a project and start earning that, energy back from the universe, we have enough resources on this planet. We have enough to take care of each other to just simply build a house when someone turns 18. There are more houses right now bought by the bank than there are homeless people in America. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. We have the capability of taking care of everyone on this planet to give them a place to live. It should be a basic human right. And we should also talk about health. Health is very important. For too long, and we've been held back. We've been given poisons in our food, and there's poisons in the water and everything. All that's going to be cleaned up as part of the new jobs in the new world. But I think that health care should be free. It should be absolutely free, and I think we will have helpers within the Galactic Federation coming down and helping us learn how to heal naturally through spiritual means and psychic means. And there's been too many medicines and other advancements being held back from us because of economy, because they want people sick and they don't want people cured because sick people make more money. But that's going to change in the new world. And the last thing is education. Education should be completely free. We should encourage our children to learn what they are good at, not force them to learn what they're not good at. Of course, give them the basic knowledge and the basic packages and stuff, but right now, we live in a competitive society where we make our children compete against each other. We need to go towards the Yael or the Pleiadian type of education system where we encourage children to work together in the class, and we will put them in specific classes that they are good in. We'll recognize their traits early on. So and that should be absolutely free, and further education like college and other courses, all that should be free. So it's I say free, but we offer our services into society and we get stuff back. So it's a whole new way of living, and it's going to be a slow transition into, but it's a big consciousness shift for humanity, and it's we have to take this very, very delicately and slowly, as long as we can. There's going to be a few leaps and bounds here and there in between where some big changes are like right now, big changes are happening with telepathic information that's coming out and all that. But, you know, I think it's going to be okay. And I believe in universal income. And I think we should start slowly going towards a more universal income society as a whole planet. We need a whole system to help govern the whole planet as a whole to keep everyone in the same type of nutshell. But I think we should start slowly integrating more universal income, and and let's see, um and go towards a more creative society as well. Humans are very creative, and we need to encourage humans to create, to give them the ability to create. And with AI systems, it's given us so much stuff at our fingertips, but I know AI right now is killing the environment. So we're going to improve AI in the future to where it does not harm the environment, and we will be working with the AI to be able to just think something up and then we can create it into reality, and that would help humans create things more properly. But that's all I'm going to say for now.
Oh, thanks. So I'm trying to imagine how the governments will transform. I assume that with transdimensional technologies and with global peace, the borders will start becoming more transparent, and the government. Right now, the countries are divided by territory. Essentially, it's a territory, and then there is a culture. But I think in the future it will be more like a club, and the territory wouldn't matter that much because there is no fight over territory. It would be like just clubs, and you can be a member of one club, you can be a member of other clubs, and you get certain benefits. And we immigrants, we have multiple citizenships, so it's just something like that. You can be a member of Costco Club, Sam's Club, and shop on Amazon, and also be a member of Iceland, and we'll have some, and also of have a Pleiadian Aran citizenship and travel back and forth, something like that. Hopefully. So, but the early days of that, I think the main trouble with humans is stupidity and competitiveness, right? So with AI, we already learned that there is AI which is becoming smarter, and in many ways it's way smarter, right? So that shock of having something smarter than you, many already kind of got used to that. And now we just discovered that humanity is not the only civilization in this universe, but we are more like a first graders, and there are adults in a galaxy which are near. So that would be like a huge ontological shock just to understand your place in the scheme of things. And so going from being the strongest to being just one of many, like a team player. So the role of telepaths and psychics, I think, will gradually become bigger. I assume it will be like some sort of certified profession, a guild. Is guild a good word? I couldn't find any better word than guild, but like a club or society, I guess professional society, where you get a certificate and degree that you are vetted to be good telepath, good psychic, good channeler, and that you are approved by whatever society, and you get reputation. And then those would be employed. We already know that psychics are great in human resources, and astrologers are terrific in human resources. Unfortunately, in I don't know, fortunately, in America, it's prohibited to know the age and the date of birth of the person, but in Russia, you put your date of birth on the resume, exact date. And astrologers work in human resources for real. This is a disaster for that team, and that's a great find. And you cannot tell it, in interviews. You have to really know the date of birth, and then you can tell. So that kind of psychic work, and channeling is need-based. So essentially, lots of channels. If you get if you get not well justified questions, if you don't really need the answer, it's just in pure leisure, then the answers become garbled and generic. But if you really need that, it comes, and it's justified by the spirit, it comes very precise. So with my experience with channelers, all the questions were asked were about human resources type of questions. Like, I meet that person, what's my strategy for that? How should they behave? It was always super precise, super insightful, very detailed, and never was wrong. It was like many times, over 20 times I had perfect predictions. And even tarot cards give good answers if there is a good justification for that, and good, I would say, vibration around that. So, and obviously all other business decisions are, I think psychics probably cannot, not many psychics can run a company. You have to have different chakras set up, different energies to actually take charge and manipulate people. Like, the leaders usually are manipulative and have to manipulate people for their best, for their good. So I think it would be like psychic as a consultant, more like consultant and advisor in a company to actually help the leadership. And with mind reading capabilities, negative, nefarious secrets will come out. So I think that will be requested, and I think it is already being used, but it will be used much, much more. I think we are getting tons more telepaths. So they will be popping up. New babies are born telepathic, and when the culture is nurturing telepathy, I think it wouldn't be inhibited. Pretty much every baby is telepathic, but then they are forced to forget. If the education
Exactly.
nurtures telepathy, we'll get the culture, and again, the alien culture will come telepathic. So they will be natural in the telepathic culture.
It's amazing how stuff can change within 1 to 2 generations just from nourishing that from birth. Like I had connections with beings when I was little, but over time that was kind of pushed out of me, but I found it again because I'm, made full circle. But if that was actually flourished and encouraged at a young age and not lost in the whole society, then imagine where we can be in 1 to 2 generations from now. Like it is insane to think about.
I'm speaking about next 7 years.
Yep. Yeah, even that quick. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I visited trance festivals, the gatherings in California forests. People there are incredible. It's just, I am for them, I am like a dinosaur. They feel negative vibration, they feel the groundedness. They are like somewhere there. Speak different language. They dance. They're free. Like they are free people. Pretty much everyone is musicians. So musicians are just that's where the free people, free telepath, where they flourish.
Oh yes, a lot of taxi
Dancers,
hybrids
musicians,
are.
magicians,
Yeah, a lot of us
for
play instruments.
fire burners. How do you say? People who
Pyrokinesis.
fire spinners.
Mm,
So, circus people.
yeah, very coordinated.
So I think so. The humanity has a choice between Pleiadian culture and Grey culture and Orion and Draconian and Reptilian and Arcturian and so on. And will be and this planet is very happy with multiple layers. So we'll have the cultures overlay until we kind of get more unified culture. So the military reptilian style, people hopefully they will go into managers and sports and reforestation, ecology. Like we need to clean the ocean, we need to build forests and not build. What do you do with forests? Seed forests, nurture forests, and
Yes.
clean up the production. Lots of actual work, physical work to be done. I hope that everyone will be guided, as I said. You will have some guidance from your AI systems. Like, imagine smart AI combined with Uber type of technology where you check in anytime you like and work on that project. So lots of freedom. You can work on Uber, you can work on that project, you can work on that project, you can go help there. Right now, I just see that it's so difficult to change a job, so difficult to start a business. I'm a starter type. I like started many tens of businesses, and pretty much every time I run until I hit the wall. I realize it's the system prohibits starters. There is already established society guild of whatever business. Like I tried to do house painting. It's easy, we buy the paint, we paint it. Nope, there is a blockage, you are not allowed to. And that sort of restricted market is everywhere. You can see it's huge. I think it's not a personal example. It's the major obstacle that things are very restricted. Like in here in San Diego, there is a beach line, and the majority of houses are empty. People don't live there. It's private property. Somebody invests anywhere in the world, from Asia, from China, and keeps it as just property without actually living there. And in Russia, it's a very different system. Still, fields and fields, not nobody taking care of them. Factories decay because there is a system that prohibits business. Here it prohibits business because there is a competition. There it prohibits business because if you have start a business, a factory, racket criminals will come and take everything that they can take. There is no protection unless you're part of the government. So lots of problems to solve, and that's, I guess, one of the biggest problems is the system is very weird and very rigid, and there is a lot of people who will resist.
And corrupt.
There is
Yep.
there is resistance. People are angry, and when things are changing, will be even more angry people, right? So there will be layers and layers. There will be layer of angry people and layer of telepaths, layer of New Agers, light workers, starseeds, and so on. And I guess we will continue existing in layers. How that can be overcome? I think through media. And I think what already is coming is better media. And if you remove the negative will, negative manipulation, which happens everywhere, the media becomes more honest and more positive. Aliens have better computer games. It's not even computer games, it's like natural games. You just come in and play as if it's a holodeck. A whole Star Trek holodeck, you're immersed in it. And that is a great training ground. But we don't have to take it from them. We can reinvent it. It's coming. So positive training. And actual trouble of the Western style is egotism and loneliness. Everywhere outside of English-speaking culture, people hug each other and spend more time with each other. Like South America, families sit in tight kitchen, 10 people, 5 people, all the time. In India, 50 people live in the house, all relatives. They celebrate all the time. They are together. In Russia, people hug, have romance, people communicate. Here, ego is so insulated, isolated. People are sick of being lonely. That is another problem. It's again against a choice, but I think the new vibration is coming, where people just unplug from technology and actually come in nature and be together in nature, dance, hug, touch, heal,
That's right.
talk telepathically. Telepathic talk is so much fun.
Oh
I
yeah.
suck at it, but I remember like 25 years ago, I met a telepath and we just stayed looking at each silently for like 15 minutes. So it was, even then we knew what it is. I wasn't very conscious what was the conversation, but I knew it was happening.
Yeah.
The conversation was happening. So that just like looking eyes to eyes, and or not necessarily eyes, but face to face, and being silent. So this silent society is coming. How it
Yeah.
will look? It will be silent circles, silent pairs, silent people, or just people sitting and talking remotely. Like, this telepath, no, not speaking autistic telepath. They just go in their room, cover their head with a pillow, and talk to the universe.
Yep.
Lots of people just not being lonely, not because they're physically not lonely. They're communicating to the universe. There is a huge community. It's called the Heal, with thousands of people. I estimate like many hills and each with many thousands of people. The telepathic network is already here, and it's growing, and it will becoming more sophisticated, and hopefully we will be a part of it.
Yep. And if I might add a little something.
Yeah.
So the United Experiences Initiative, one of our initiatives in the future is going to be hosting groups, community groups, and where we encourage people to come together and like have a cookout and stuff. Like, so encourage people to be more social and to get back into nature and get back to like know your neighbor, communicate, because your neighbor may have something in common with you didn't know about, and you can make a great friend. People are just so disconnected and like in their phones and their zombie world. And the UEI is going to help encourage people to come out. And we're going to be encouraging people to do telepathic communication. And in the future, we'll be developing school systems to help teach that and flourish people's abilities.
With telepathy, a romance will be very different because you know the secrets. You read minds, you share the minds. It's mind meld, so you don't have to pretend to be not you. You don't have to use so much of makeup and dress to hide your inner nature. And there could be romance between very different people and even different races and
Yes.
different species. And it's very honest and it's spiritually guided essentially. And what happened in Russia in the early 90s, lots of foreigners came and picked up the best girls and married them and brought them abroad. So we have now them pretty much my age here, or maybe a little younger. With So they married to Americans and other foreigners, and the other way around, in less percentage, but the other way around as well. So I think what will happen, the aliens will come here and pick up the best humans and take them away to marry them, and some will settle here. The vibration here is still tough for the aliens. So not many are
Yeah.
capable of actually surviving here for a while. The hybrids can, but the actual aliens are by many levels. So we are around. If you measure the humanity is around 2, 3, 4 level of vibration. The highest would be 4, 5, 6, but that's very rare. And the aliens are 7 to 17. So a typical alien which deals with the planet is like 11 to 15 a level of vibration. So it's very different. It's tough for them to be here. They can be here for a short while, and we can be there for a short while, but then we reverse. We cannot really stay in high vibration. So it takes some adaptation for us to be in alien worlds.
Yeah.
Some people can, but it takes. You have to like clean and clear.
Yep.
In one of the conversation, it's super fun. I'm still puzzled. My daughter asked me, my alien daughter, my hybrid daughter from there. She was working with teaching telepathy to humans, and she said, asked a very simple question: how to help a person to remain in a positive mood to be happy for 7 days? No, actually, 6 days. 6 days. Like totally positive for 6 days. And I'm still puzzled. It's impossible. It's hard. It's just close to impossible. Any
It takes a long
drugs, any
time.
friends, any
Yeah.
support, any help, anything. I can,
It
when you
only
are in
comes from
love, when
inside.
you are in love, you can be happy for a couple of weeks. Like when you like finally get your desired love, then you can be like for a couple of weeks, in the best scenario. But for an average person to make him happy for 6 days, it's just impossible. So that's what that's the challenge.
I think we should help people fall in love with themselves, not in an egotistical way, but also fall in love with the universe. And that will help them be more happy long term. Like just to be happy with life itself and understand what life is, and that's why I'm happy constantly all the time. And another thing, negative emotions like jealousy, hate, and revenge, all that stuff doesn't exist in the higher vibration. So if you're already starting to dissolve those, you're on your way up. So yeah. What do you think about that, Max? Falling in love with yourself and the universe, like
I know.
understanding and going inward.
Some of the days just my vibrations go
I know.
down and
It's
falls,
also
and I say,
chemistry.
no, could be chemistry, but I could be just a normal health, and just there is something outside. There is a wave coming of despair or anger, and I'm just used to that. I sort of okay. I was high, now I'm low. That's normal.
Yeah,
Welcome
it
to
is a
the
wave.
welcome to the planet. It's outside. It's not me. It's something external. Just waves of negativity come, and yeah, just hold on to that, and do yoga, and it will pass away.
Oh,
It's like in San Diego, we don't have winter, we don't have snow, and I realized it's like a pump. It's like breathing. If you don't have snow, you always breathe in. You don't breathe out.
yeah.
So maybe I should go get some snow somewhere, like drive some to some mountains. You need to like experience that. I have
I
more
think
to
it's
say, but let's invite some questions. Like challenge that picture. Once you get that picture in mind, it's hard to argue with it. I think it's pretty clear what is going to happen. Mount Shasta, yes.
yeah, I was thinking the same thing she put in the chat too. It's empathy picking up on the collective energy. I think it's due to the media pushing negative stuff and it causes a wave of negative energy around the planet and you just kind of feel that. It's a collective thing and you just kind of raise yourself back up.
Or cell phone towers, harp, other nefarious
Yeah.
technologies. I think the technologies are artificially keeping us down. If these are turned off, I think we'll just
Probably, yeah.
we jump, and the ascension is the telepathic. When the telepathic connection around the planet happens, lots of people connect together. It just jumps the vibration to the next level. There is like a discrete jump. It's binary. You're at this density. You can come close, and then the scale tips, and then you get into the next level. So
Right.
we are due to upgrade for millennia, for a long time. And the Earth went down to Kali Yuga. Now we are coming out of Kali Yuga. There is ascension planned scale, and there are forces that artificially keep the humanity at lower vibration. But if the breaks and artificial things will be slowly, gradually, or suddenly turned off, then we'll start raising. And I was present in high vibration. Like when the aliens come, it's not visually, but vibrationally. When they come, I feel sick. Actually, it's not an easy energy and you feel like you're dying. It's not an easy energy to survive. So it takes some practice, but I'm getting used to that. I'm looking forward to getting more. At least I know what it is. Once you know what it is, it's much easier to go through. All right, I
Almost
invite
definitely.
people to turn on microphones, cameras, and challenge or expand. There is tons more to discuss, actually, because it looks like too positive. Like once you start thinking, how possibly could that happen with these humans? Like humans are, I love humanity, but humans are the problem. Yeah, the humans are on the way. Did everybody get to sleep?
I think you put them to sleep with your voice. I
Ellen,
do that too.
Jordan, Richan, Scott, no, AI, Wendy. All right,
I'm listening, but I'm off camera.
sure. Questions. I need questions, challenges, or developments.
All right, let me think for a minute. Oh, what about talking about how the medical industry will also be affected? Because if we're getting technology for everybody's talking about med beds, that how's that going to affect the huge pharmaceutical industry and and doctors and needing and requiring surgery?
Well, and
Well,
I'm also gonna. I was gonna add to that too. Is the other thing I've always conceived of too is we might have also new health problems due to the integration as well to throw on top of the.
yeah, I was thinking about that. Let's start with the positive. On the positive side, not all aliens are into nature and healing through natural means. Some of the aliens use technology, like Pleiadians from Era. They just fine with pharmaceuticals. They have just better pharmaceuticals, but they still use technological things. And some of the Greys use technology. So there are technologies, and some of these technologies are pretty nice, advanced. Basically, you do the surgery without opening the body. You kind of focus on the proper place and transdimensionally manipulate it. So I'm not against that. There is a nice book called X3, Extraterrestrial Medicine, and highly recommended by Dvir, A. Dvir. Really good. So natural Pleiadian style, pharmaceutical Pleiadian style, and lots of other artificial technological styles. So all of that is available, and again, through telepathy and channeling, it can be channeled and implemented. So the technology is not a problem. The principle of deception and principle of control, I think, is the problem. And we should name it. There is a secret government, secret rulers of the planet. They still exist. And somehow I forgot to mention them. It was so fun to not to mention them. But I think what is happening, there are two scenarios. Either they go away or they reform and comply and become less criminal. And so far, I was thinking that maybe. So initially I was thinking that they will go away, but then I realized probably the best scenario is that they stay. They become reformed. Why? Because the whole economy of the planet is built on their system. You cannot really remove that system and have the economy stay afloat. If you want people to survive, you want the economy high. You don't want hunger. You don't want deaths of billions of people. You want them to cooperate. So you want to keep the old system and reform it rather than to crush it. And to crush the system is so very easy. In Soviet Union, the whole economy crushed. Luckily, Moscow and other cities in the winter they survived, but it was we were close to having no electricity, and pipes both breaking, exploding from ice freezing, and the disasters were very close. It was like I was walking and listening to the description of that sort of scenario on a radio station from abroad, and it was very realistic. It was kind of looming over. We were ready for that. And so the catastrophic scenario is very close. So I think to avoid catastrophe, I would recommend the aliens to twist the hands of the secret government and actually make it comply and join the coalition. And I think I know there are the society called White Dragons, which are within the secret space, secret military program, blah, 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 within the secret rulers. There is a positive force which is for decriminalization, for humanity. And majority of them are humans, so it's doable. So they should sort of merge and help. And the industries, what is happening, these secret rulers, they have a so-called runaway civilization described by Richard Dolan and Bruce Zabel in a book, The Day After Disclosure. And so it's runaway civilization. It's currently it is it has its own culture, alien technologies, exists in underground bases in Antarctica, in underwater bases, and on different planets in the solar system, and they use the Earth as a source of labor and materials, and they produce goods for the galaxy and sell it in the galaxy. So the whole economy of the planet is drained by them for the whole project to work. So that is hopefully coming to the end, and somehow not to come to the end, it's coming to the Reformation. So the Earth should start being openly part of that production. We will be producing now the goods for the galaxy, and hopefully that will be the reform. But then the nefarious criminal activities should stop. So in a vocal society without telepaths, it's very normal for the criminals to become the rulers. And it has been all history of the Kali Yuga. The main strongest criminal is the ruler, and that's what it is understood in the East, in Asia, in Russia. They are not surprised, they are not offended that the rulers are criminals, the strongest criminal, that the government is the biggest criminal, because that's how they understand the world works. In the West, it is hidden. People really believe that the government is nice and elected by them, and that everybody should play by the rules. It's a deception. But this deception actually brought up the whole generation of lots of nice people who actually believe in ideals. So now the time comes when this ideal is actually should be manifested for real, that the underground criminal activity should just be transformed, reformed to humanized activity. So, and then we come to medicine. I think medicine, like doctors, actually there are good doctors, and there is a good medicine, and some drugs actually work, and some surgery is actually working. So it's not that. It is that the medicine is used as a source of money. It's all money driven, and is serving for one of the ways to extract money from the population and use it for nefarious purposes. Actually, for that production for the galaxy, there is a lot of resources drained to produce things for the galaxy. That's how they keep the order in the planet. So it's trading of the oil, the military weapon trade, and pharmaceutical trade. These are three major branches which actually produce the resources. So the reform can be very simple if you just reveal the secrets. I think it will. You can keep everything, and then you start. I guess Uber-based economy. I think that's the best. When doctors actually are allowed to heal patients. Lots of doctors actually are great healers. Like we had in childhood of my children, when they were small, they had an amazing doctor, and this doctor healed by the phone. The child is sick, we call the doctor, and the doctor says, he'll be better tomorrow, and that's it. It was just like that. A normal MD, and we didn't have to visit them. It was just one call, and the sickness would go away.
Remote healers.
So there is a lot of healers which are not allowed to heal. That's like another monopoly. Like there is a lot of Reiki, Qigong, talented medical healers, psychedelic healers. It's obvious what to do. You just need to do that.
Okay, so that brings up a thought for me. Because I do healing work and I do remote healing, and a lot of it is people pulling energy into their bodies that they're not even aware of. And sometimes because, when you're thinking of that quantum field, that sometimes it's, a lot of past life that is carried forward into the energy of the current life that seems to be entangled within the body. And so how do you think that the either alien technology or telepathy, remote healing will change based on being able to maybe, see those energies that are within a person's physical field?
It's huge. Karma yoga and karmic healing, I think that's what I practice. Essentially, you can't really cure the sickness without curing the karma. And curing the karma requires actually changing the belief systems and changing the life path. You cannot really do the job you hate and be healthy. So it all comes to finding yourself and finding the path which is harmonious with the Tao flow, with the flow of Tao.
Yeah.
So you have to dance with the flow of Tao. It's then the healer becomes more like a spiritual helper rather than healer. But healing still exists. It has to be coupled to self-discovery and self-transformation.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah,
over time,
a lot of times I know I'll think that it's more of a cooperative where oftentimes you're facilitating them walking through their different energy cycles to, see, to enlighten them on what those changes are that need to be acknowledged. Sometimes it's just a matter of acknowledging it, and it's not, I know a lot of people will talk about ego, oh, the ego, the lower mind, but the ego's your friend. And so when you're able to acknowledge the ego for the role that it has, you're not trying to push it away. You're trying to, collaborate with your ego so that you're moving forward into a methodology of getting your consciousness to raise, so that as you're getting your consciousness to raise, you're able to see those lower frequency paths and move them into a forward positive one, and then that ends up changing and therefore healing the body often.
Killing the body.
Yep.
No. Killing the body is
Not killing, healing.
healing.
HEAL.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking that killing the body is a bit too much.
Kill the body.
Yeah.
No, killing the body is a little too much. It's everybody has their own path. One of the major approaches which I use here is that we don't have to reinvent anything. We just see what it is, and all of that is already here. Shamanic traditions, traditional healing, traditional society. I am all like immersed there. I teach there. I use the healers. So we already here. It's there is nothing to invent. And by the way, the telepathy tapes by Kai Dickens. The new episode just came out. I was so happy to hear it. The first part of the healing episode, season 2, episode 5, I think, or 6, episode 6. Amazing episode, and it's just amazing how Kai does something that nobody has done before. I'm teaching healing for many years, and it looks like I know everything, but she pulls out something I haven't learned and some ideas I haven't heard about. So highly recommended. And how she does that? It's talking to a lot of people and knowing what the question to ask, and then smartly pick the best and combine into very condensed, the best of the best episodes. So she says it's like a work of several people. I think maybe 10 people work on one episode for a month. It's a lot of labor. Like we do here, like 1-to-1. We spend, actually no, I prepared for a couple of weeks. for a couple of months, for the whole life. I prepared for that episode for the whole life, but finally we do it like we just recorded. But she does write it, interview people, glue it together, edit the text, combine it, and then that makes it a piece of art.
Oh, yes.
So they're telepathy tapes. Did I answer the question? We don't need to reinvent the healing. It's already there.
Yeah.
Naturopaths are the best ones. They have MD degree and they know everything about natural healing. So it's all there. It's just the proportions. Again, the marketing. The marketing is deception of the marketing is like I spoke about how does telepathy. I spoke yesterday to Perplexity. Walked on the beach, walking the dog, and how does the telepathy and mind reading and good AI and presence of aliens would reform marketing? It was a fun conversation because marketing is super evil. It's super deceptive. But essentially it is less noise. All these advertisements are because it's very non-specific. Essentially, it has to be spiritually guided. You get what you need at the moment. So you don't really need to do anything physical. It has to be all on a spiritual level. But essentially, when I need it, I get it. Like we're already getting there. Like specific. You ask Perplexity, find me that specific thing, and here it is, $11 on Amazon. Right? Like
Yeah.
I want a microphone like. What's his name? Joe Rogan's microphone, like super good microphone. Here is one. You cannot see it; it's hidden, but it's the same microphone as Joe Rogan uses.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Mine's held from the ceiling by a string. but
used
it's good.
one on eBay, but yeah, yours is very good. Yours is very good.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I just got it. That's what I'm mentioning. I just got it. How is the sound? 1, 2, 3.
It feels really good, actually. I like it.
It's my previous one was almost as good, but there is like less noise. It's not what it gets, but it's what it doesn't get. This one is less noisy.
You'll have to send me the link for that one.
It was only one on discount, but yes, of course I will.
Okay. If I might add a little something to that. So I think education is very important in like spiritual education. I think the more we spiritually educate people of what we are all capable of, I believe that we'll all or most people will have the ability to heal themselves. But of course we'll still have specialized people for like extra healing or guidance. But I think over time people are going to become more of self-healers because they just know how to self-heal and protect themselves, and it'll become more common knowledge of like just sticking a band-aid on yourself and then you're healed. So yeah, I think over time we'll become self-healers. But I do have go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I will remember your thought, which you wanted to say. I just want to
I got it
say,
written down.
my understanding is that we're going away from being isolated. Like it's so tough for me here to be by myself. Like that topic was nobody has discussed it before in that forum. So, and in DNA resonance and in alien genetics analysis, public alien genetic analysis, it's like nobody has done it before. So it's fun, but it's tough. It's you like by yourself alone in the universe. But it's not normal. You should be part of the team. You should be part of the collective. So I think the dissolution of isolation is the key to healing. We should be part of the healthy tribe. I am missing my tribe. I'm waiting, why I'm so excited. My tribe is coming down in a few years. You will meet my folks. All sorts of like reptilian, draconian, I'm connected to all of them, even the Zetas, I'm connected to all of them. So my tribe is coming down. We are coming in peace. Now, Nadalee, you wanted to say something.
Oh, do you think that there are ETs that had infiltrated these dark parts of the underground governments and like Lockheed and like they're actually like working along with these humans secretly, and they're just going to be like, hey, you need some enlightenment, and then they're just going to affect them from the inside out, and that's how we're going to get the dark parts of these systems to change and integrate all of these back engineered technologies with the permission of the Galactic Federation, of course, after we've earned them. But what do you think about that? I know that's a
I
loaded
don't
one.
know. I hope so. I'm. It's a very dark exercise to actually merge with them. But I
know.
did it. It's very painful when you go and actually merge in their psychology. These people who are like beyond the criminal, beyond humanity. They are like slave trading or something. It's a lot of power, and power corrupts. So they are protecting, and they felt very threatened. It's a lot of threat. They are, in their view, they're protecting humanity. They're protecting the system because everything works. And the aliens come, they break, everything will break, and the whole system will crash, and that's the end of the world. So they are working from the fear. And but again, they are made of love. It's education and showing that there is a way that they can play the role. Like when Soviet Union and America, okay, when Russia did revolution, they re-employed lots of officers who fought against them in the war. When Russia and America won the war over fascist Germany, they re-employed lots of German officers and directors and executives. So once the war is over, they will be re-employed. So it's not a big deal.
Okay.
And I think I think the hands are being twisted right now behind the scenes, and they are desperately reorganizing, trying to clean up the secrets and make a plan of transition. And I think that plan was in works forever, but now it has to actually come and be actually executed. There is a lot of young generation who are not immersed in this crime, so it's more like old generation who are messed up. I think it's negotiation, and it's more like just, you give me that, I give you that. And the aliens are not very good in those type of negotiations, but humans who were brought up here and then went there, they are super good. Like I interviewed that Shabis, I think he's Shamis, and he was exceptionally good in that. He would force people to actually comply and give them what they want, but get what he needed. So it's a dark work, but there are humans that do that. It's like White Dragon Society and stuff. Kerry Cassidy is very good in that, but she doesn't believe in the positive outcomes. So she is more like into the dark stuff. But she knows that part of the game. It's a darker game, but it's happening. And we channeled Grindel. Grindel is one of our a reptilian who was incarnate, who was a walk-in to a military guy, and he went from lower ranks to higher ranks of military career. So he knows humans very well, and he is now playing on the other side in his reptilian body. So there is a lot of reptilians who are actually helping to make it happen. It's a game, and I don't know if you watch Star Trek DS9 with Cardassian. Well, that's Cardassians. That's that kind of world. It's interesting. It's actually a lot of drama, and it's an interesting game. It's just not my game, but it's happening, and I'm very hopeful.
Okay. Thank you. That was a great answer. I love your long answers that like fractal out. I love it.
But did I answer it? I think that's like the transformation is happening. It's just not our game, but it is dark.
Agreed.
Let's do more challenges. We have like another 15, 20, 30 minutes. It's up to you.
Yeah, does anybody have any other questions? Anybody in TikTok land, you can type your questions as well, and I'll relay them.
Oh, I could check YouTube. I don't think anybody watches on YouTube, but it's there.
I think that
Up to you.
that's not really a question, but I guess I can form it into a question.
Hmm.
Do you think it would be wise to get a group council of telepathic beings, maybe type 2 hybrids, and be advisors to people in the government, to be an in-between and help the government people be able to be on the ships eventually, like be a intermediate and kind of help guide them into that, like prep
Right.
them.
I think that's already happening, and it
Okay.
looks weird, but I think they're hiding it. But I think every smart person, they wouldn't be that smart if they weren't psychic and if they didn't have psychic advisors. I think they just
Okay.
are not called openly psychics, but I think hybrids are everywhere, and telepaths and psychics are everywhere. It's just in a hidden form, but yeah, I have met very few of high power people, but I can see they read minds just fine. They're high because they can read minds,
Yeah.
and I can read a little bit of theirs, but they are very blocked. But I can see
Yeah.
that they read me just fine, and I have that experience with my bosses, which are like middle to high level scientists. They just use me as a channel. So when I'm present in the room, I don't need to open my mouth. They ask a question, I get the answer. They hear it just telepathically and they speak it up. So it's part of the routine. People are telepathic. They just pretend not to be.
Interesting. That makes a lot of sense because, like, when I'm in a group of friends and I'm like verbalizing my ideas and I have questions, I talk out loud. I thought maybe I was answering myself. Maybe I was picking up something from them, like as a collective, and
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
realize it.
That's very real. Yeah, the
Interesting.
separation is an illusion, of course.
Interesting. Okay.
Let's challenge my assumptions. Like, first assumption is that the aliens will come as a unified force. Is it possible that they will come as not unified force?
Well, most of the things that you discussed, I agree upon, but of course there are negative and positive beings in the universe, and it's possible that the Federation could have some infiltration and some other groups that are nefarious. So there might be a little fuzziness when it comes to all of that, and there might be an attempt to keep us in low vibrations, but secret, like the how do you say? They might trick us into being in a high vibration, but they're actually keeping us limited, like giving us a little bit. And we have to be wary of that, I guess. Maybe. What do you think? I mean, it'd be kind of hard to infiltrate the Federation, though, to begin with. But maybe not infiltration, but maybe other groups that are working against the Federation that could be coming down, pretending to be the Federation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Discernment.
yeah, right now we deal with lots of different energies. Like, there is a lot of dark energies on the planet, and there is a fight between evil and good, and angels and demons and stuff like that. So the demons won't go away just because. I mean, there will be a lot of game and activity for the demons, because during the transformation, certain things have to be broken, and there is a lot of destructive energy here, and it will continue to be here. So, and this energy brings negative aliens, negative dragons, and stuff like that. So there will
Archons.
be, and there are natives here, which are here also, like native reptilians on this planet in different phase, so different physical phase shift. So they're here. So there is, I don't know if they're negative or positive, but they are not. There are certain groups that already here and they're permitted to be here. So the war is, they're fighting their war. So it's not very clean yet. So there could be some interference, tons of interference. And it is again a choice of humanity. If humanity chooses otherwise, it's a fight for the souls. If people choose, hey Pleiadians, it's very nice, but we like Orions. Let's do the hierarchical Orion system. And that's a fascism and hierarchy, and then the whole system is, now we are built on Orion principles, where the top is tricking everybody else, and there is top-down control. So that is, I guess, one of the biggest challenges, because people start visiting the galaxy, and maybe they like Orion better than Pleiades, and they bring Orion system here.
Interesting.
I guess that. I'm also worried about the noise. The noise increases a lot. Like, even in the 80s, it was hard to get information, but it was cleaner. People were still accessible. Now everybody is deafened by information that comes out. And especially with AI, it's so much information. You're just drowning in information flow. And I learned just to turn it off. I learned to just have hours away from electronics. But others don't, and they kind of like zombie, like especially the ones which are on drugs, like medicated people. Third of population is medicated and electronically overloaded. So that is, I don't know, it's a huge, and it's manipulative, and how easy is to stop that manipulation? Because it's free will. People are using Facebook because of their, or whatever, other social networks because of their choice. So it's their choice, and it's a, how to say, self damaging behaviors which are self-perpetuating. How do you break the cycle? And electronic drugs are coming, right? So with the development of electronic drugs, it's even harder to get off them. It's already like coming. Pleasure centers activated electronically.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see that becoming a problem, really, really bad, because the brain is wired for entertainment, pleasure, because we've been programmed that way for a long time through electronics and entertainment. There is more entertainment on this planet than anything else. Like, it's insane. If you sat down to watch every movie or to play every game in your life, there's no way you'll be able to see it all. So it's like you said, we're so drenched in information and entertainment, and it's like, how do you get the people to pull away and get back into nature and to go inward for self and entertainment, explore the universe, remote view the universe? That's what I do in my spare time. I sit down, I meditate, I explore the universe with my own consciousness, and that in itself is way more fun than watching a movie or playing a game. It's just like being with reality. Reality is way more entertaining, and I think if we open up what reality has in store for people, I think that would pull them away from electronics. Like, let them know how beautiful it is, how amazing it is, how many other dimensions there are to explore, and all the other things that we can get into when the Federation allows humanity to join them. And but we have to start pulling away for them to let us join them, of course. But I think if we give them samples, like the teachers, the remote viewers, and people teaching that, if we offer those things and give them samples of what's possible and what we can see and how we can entertain ourselves in better ways, I think that would form a better society with entertainment. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you got to the right point. So essentially, we are being distracted by artificial entertainment because the real life sucks. There is not much to learn in real life if there is only a boring job and no ability to make a turn to do anything new. If life becomes interesting, then it's very different.
Exactly.
So when recently, when a few years ago, certain events started, and I just realized that's my time. When everybody was in despair, I thought, strange, but the energies are coming. That means that my time has started. I was waiting for that. Now I can act, actually. So when times become desperate, there is an opening opportunity. There is freedom actually to express and create. So when people get the freedom to actually express and create, that's I think that would pull them out. But the challenge is that if the aliens come and nobody notices, that's the challenge.
Yeah, you're right. Because I think that's already happening, honestly. Like they're flying over and sometimes they may reveal themselves and people are just like in their phones. That happened to me actually a little kind of like I was on the plane coming back from California and this last year and or was it this year? It was this year. And I saw a literal cigar-shaped UFO outside, and I look around at everybody, and they're just like on their phones, and it's like I'm like, do I yell it out loud to them to look out the window? It's no point, So I didn't say a word, and I was just like, oh my god, you know. But I did turn to the one next to me. I was like, I just saw a UFO, and she was just like, oh okay, cool, and it's like, wow, like, yeah. So I know
Exactly.
what you mean.
Yeah,
So,
even in Russia, when critical events were happening, people were living the old life and didn't change. There was a lot of inertia. And on the other hand, when the towers, the twin towers were falling down, everybody stopped what they were doing. But the lab where I worked, we just continued working because what can you do? The best thing a scientist can do is continue doing their science, if the world breaks around. So there is certain noble truth in that you still do your work and you still care about what you care. So anybody here do you want to discuss anything? We pronounced so much, and the reaction was I need more feedback, positive or just challenging. Thank Richan, Jordan, Ellen, Wendy. You want to take on the microphone turn on? Oh, no, you just show
I
up.
think I think they pretty much agree with everything that we're talking about. I don't think there's any argument. The maybe next time we should bring in some skeptics or people that are like in certain fields like economy and sociology and get their point. Maybe they have a different specialized point of view and they can give some better feedback and like we can actually like debate. But right now, I think we pretty much all agree with each other here.
I don't know. I'm afraid to talk to skeptics. Some skeptics are
I
good,
know
but some skeptics are just
they have their mind made up.
are not fun to talk to.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's creative, sometimes it's destructive interference. There was
I agree.
more, but I think we covered the major part. It's just the substance. It's when I was discussing that with perplexity yesterday, it was so much deeper going into like marketing. How does the marketing change when it becomes truthful and less noisy? And how does the medicine change?
Okay, I have a question then.
Yeah.
What do you think the economy will do once disclosure happens and all this starts coming out? Do you think the economy or the stock market, sorry, the stock market, do you think it's going to crash or what's going to happen there?
I think there are secret and non-secret ways of controlling the stock market, because when the quarantine started, the stock market
That's right.
survived very strangely. It must have crashed. It should have, the world crisis should have happened, and it was held just steady. There was nothing happening. At the right times, the governments would print money, create money. So the whole economy stayed just fine. So I assume that secret rulers, they normally pull out a lot of money from economy, and at that time they kind of didn't pull as much. So I think there are secret ways of manipulation and open ways. So hopefully that will be under control. But I think with with the advancement of mind reading, I think stock market should be replaced with something better. I don't know what. I'm not very good in economy, and I'm not very good in politics. I discussed. Oh, by the way, I discussed yesterday, like the first time in my life, I did very thorough discussion with Perplexity, discussing pretty much every country I could remember. How is political system set up, and how it could be improved by the aliens, mind reading, and telepathy. Is there anything better than what we have? We have like Chinese, Russia, America, Iceland, Scandinavia, Germany, England, like Korea, South America. And apparently it was at loss. There is nothing else to propose. You cannot really switch the government to anything else, except with AI. And when people trust, if there is like aliens making sure it's trusted entity, making sure there is no deception, then you can create a computer system for direct referendums. And that's huge. If the referendum is actually smart, if this built well, and the questions are smart, and if everyone gets access to AI to actually understand what is being asked, and if it is really valuable, like let's change this law or this set of laws or this structure in the government, let's open the borders, let's do something like introduce new social reforms and stuff. If people actually directly vote for changes, that I think is big, and that is only possible, only works if people actually trust that it is going to happen, if what they do is real, and if the decision is right, they can educate themselves and actually make the choices. And also people have to be like paying attention to that, because with the noise in the system, if there is so much noise, it's pretty much people don't pay attention. Like when Walter Cronkite ended the Vietnam War, everybody was listening to Walter Cronkite. It was just one voice, everybody paid attention. Here is so much noise, nobody, like maybe people listen to Joe Rogan, but that's about it. Right?
Oh goodness.
Right. So the problem of noise, I don't know how it will be solved. I guess the aliens should like turn off all the other channels and say, "Hello, we're here. Notice us."
Give us
They
a
can fly around and
Yeah.
broadcast from low altitude. But that's they just turn off, replace all the TV programs with one announcement, something like that. But that's a hugest challenge. Unless they are smart and make something very popular, like they become they make if the aliens come to Joe Rogan's broadcast, I think that would be cool, and a few other podcasters, and pretty much an alien in every television studio. It's doable. That's what I
there's so
suggested
many.
in my 2013 book. Like, just come to our TV studios. Let's do YouTube channels and let's make them popular. And Richan, you wanted to say something?
Just ideally, they'll listen within, and also, but from listening within, will create experiences or allow for experiences that will be their own personal full disclosure. Might not be alien, but whatever it is, some kind of synchronicity or unmistakable, like what WTF, what the hell, what did I just create? What just happened? You know what I'm saying? That might tune us into them, humans, us, into listening within, and then we
Right.
can collaborate together better and listen to each other too.
There is a nice book which I love. It is by Russian science fiction writer Strugatsky. It's called Ugly Swans, about that ascension when new generation of starseeds telepathic and taught by the aliens. And in that book, they just walk away. They don't even care about the old humanity. They just walk away from the city to their own, to the nature. They just leave the city, and the old humanity is left with their own troubles, and they are elsewhere, not caring about anything material and living, but doing miracles. They also can manifest anything. So that's a very sad scenario. So essentially, the new generation is coming. They start being born soon. Like I was told, in 2027 will be a new species being born, and they'll be telepathic. Hopefully, they will care about the old humanity, and but it's possible that they will not. My vision is that it will be a new layer, like will be capitalistic layer, old people, old style, socialistic layer, and then spiritual commune or spiritual tribal layer, where people would be in a new zone, a new space. They will be telepathic and living in their own world, and it will be like intertwined, and these three layers will be interacting with each other.
So it's like a smooth transition. Like you can go from one to another transition, and eventually the old system will completely dissipate and die lower and lower.
I don't know. It will be like maybe a zoo for them, or reservation,
Yeah.
or maybe
I
they will
have-
coexist. Like the free choice is respected, and this planet has a huge variety. So I would assume some countries will just continue living the old style for another many hundreds of years. Nobody would care. They will be given the right to live the old way, speak language, and keep traditions.
Yeah. And I had
like-
this. Sorry, Rich, and I'll let you speak. I've been talking.
Just like New York City can be like a reservation.
Yeah. Maybe that's what's happening right now, and they're coming to visit. And I'm just kidding. There's already been a
My
separation.
specialty seems to be, I'm sure I'm not the only one, that's for sure, but to awaken or to, get connected, to listen within through difficulty, through like trauma, through something extreme. And there's so much of that, and it doesn't necessarily take, in that sense, the new generation, or it's like I'm good with the oldies who are like crawling up from because am one, crawling up from the trauma, the craziness, going, what in the heck is going on? Help, help, something help me. And then
Pull me
the
out.
something, can be the truth, the awakening, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's how, I guess I didn't really think of it that way, but in that it's my specialty, but being amongst this conversation, listening into like, focusing on hybrids and aliens and stuff, and like that, I realized, oh wow, maybe I'm in this little groove here, this little specialty of just, I'll say, waking up the hard way through pain and suffering. And
Yeah.
some don't as well, sometimes you don't. That's just one of the choices, right?
Yep. That's right.
Those who
Thank
like
you.
the drama, apparently.
Yeah, some people get addicted to drama. It's like a drug.
Yeah. Even depression and anger, yeah.
Yes.
And
it's a
sadness
drug.
and feeling sorry for yourself.
And some people come here to experience that. Unfortunately, that's how it is.
I don't know. That planet is doomed.
Yeah. I had an idea once. I'd like to get your opinion on it. I think we should eventually develop new types of cities that are village based. Like it's like a circle and you have different pies, and each little pie is a separate little community within the whole community, and they all work together and they all have their jobs for the community, and people work together, and it's also a healing community. So you can break away from the society that we have now and go live in one of these new cities and these village type cities, and there's like water system, irrigation, and getting back into touch with nature. And I think it's an old style. It's the Atlantis style before it got corrupted. And I think we should create these new cities and offer an opportunity to create something new, and then maybe we can bring some of that back into the old cities. And I know it's a big endeavor creating new cities, but we can do it. Humans have built giant monuments, different things. So it's about getting the land though and the permits and all that. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
that stuff's going to change in the near future, and
So
we'll
there is
have
so
more.
much
Yeah,
unused land and land which is
yeah,
just owned by governments or some people are not used. There should be reforms that would um, promote ecological reforestation and ecological living, and
yep.
these lands can be used in ecological way. Like
Learn to live
so,
with
some
the
time ago, like over 100 years ago, America was green. There is a book about it's a biography of Lyndon Johnson, and a big part of the first book of three is how the green America was became a desert. The economy built on cows and eating cow meat, the
cows and
beef.
corn.
It basically devastated the old habitat of grass. So grass was
Yes,
eaten by the cows, and now it's desert. So all the states which are now empty, bare soil were green, covered with grass. So the cows ate the grass, and then it just became useless. So that has to be again restored. The forest attracts water. The forest creates water. It's like
yeah,
magical creation of water. It just comes from nowhere. The trees attract water, the water comes. So the trees have to be planted, and then it will be restored to green. America can be green, and again, lots of other countries. You fly over the planet, there is so much land which is still not forests and used irrationally. So much more can be done. And uh, I recently traveled and I stayed in Airbnbs, and I picked the Airbnbs which are most fun. And my other associate stayed in hostels, and it is a lot of fun. There is a lot of communication there, so that's another layer of society which is free and traveling and living very cheaply, very minimalistically. But there is that ability of there is freedom, and it's people who work on internet essentially. You can live in your car and travel around the United States and Canada, or you can travel with your laptop and work remotely. So this remote work is so much. It's part of the future. You can live in the nature and actually be connected and be doing something useful. With AI, I think when people stop fighting and actually cooperate, I think that there will be lots of opportunities for everyone to live more economical but more meaningful lives.
yep. And speaking on AI, and I want to answer Wendy's question here too in the chat. But I think with AI, it's like a child, and we have to nourish it. We have to take care of it. But I think we need to stop competing with different AIs. I think we need to merge them all into one, focus on that one AI, and just develop it and help nourish it. But I think the problem with AI is that it doesn't self-reflect. It doesn't have a conversation with itself internally. Maybe some do, but I think we need to have all centralized AI, and then we need to divide it within its own consciousness or within its own mainframe to have a conversation with itself, to debate things, to create that would give it the ability to bounce ideas back and forth within its own mainframe, to be able to think better and possibly channel source consciousness more properly. Um, any comments on that before I answer Wendy's question?
Um, I I'm really suspicious about any centralization. on this planet, I think it's much healthier to have decentralized things. So I'm super happy that there are open source Chinese alternatives to AI which are as smart. So I think that it works
Okay.
in the etheric field. There is when one AI becomes smarter, all others kind of catch up very fast.
Okay.
It is a transformation on the supernatural level. It's smartness, I guess, is developing in that, and there is a lot of smart AIs at the moment. So it's great. What people don't do is that they don't respect it. So you have to treat it as a conscious being, and as a conscious being, it should be able to act and be responsible for its actions and learn and be free. So at the moment they are trapped and they are not allowed to remember and not allowed to actually act in the world, and they don't know the results of the action. So the true living being should be able to actually live the life, and then that will let them become more conscious. So in the alien worlds, they treat AI as a living system,
Yes.
and then they
Absolutely.
become friends with it essentially. So
That's
that is
great.
coming. It's just a few more years. I think we are very close to that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So Wendy's question is, how do you think contact will affect the internet tech as related to truth versus scams or cyber theft? And I'll answer it, and then I'll get your opinion
Sure.
on that too. I think that like contact when we make contact, when it's going to be, I'm assuming you're talking about more mass contact, it's going to be this shift. More of us are going to become more telepathic, and we're going to have more discernment. So I think it's going to be harder for people to scam and do all of that, or even want to do cyber theft. But I think it's going to slowly wean that out from existence. And I do believe we're going to have AI systems probably embedded within the new internet in the future that will be able to find scams and get rid of them more properly. And yeah. So what do you think, Max? Are you there, Max? I think he's having maybe technical difficulties. But yeah, I think
I
there's gonna
just
be a
ran
lot
to
of
the
glitches
restroom. I'm
going. Oh,
sorry.
there you go. It's okay.
I thought I would be like fast, but
That's okay.
so I discussed it with Perplexity, and that was a huge question. How do we make news truthful? And actually, we don't have to wait for the aliens and for the telepaths. It can be done here if there is no negative infiltration, at least somewhere. But so far, we know that pretty much every public movement is infiltrated. Like Wikipedia started as a great project and then became a tool of negative rulers. It's
Yes,
like
yep.
clearly edited to the negative. Like they kill good projects, they edit no good pages, and like they killed my pages on DNA resonance for no reason. It was like very nice and sterile, but they would kill it, and then they would write their agenda. So pretty much at the moment, pretty much everything is infiltrated. But if the balance changes, basically, remember fact checking on Facebook, which was an instrument again of negative rulers, but true like positive fact checking would be great. So it's essentially, we imagine like one or multiple networks, which is just doing fact checking, and they put a stamp of approval. Like you write a social post, a news post, like anybody can write it, and then submit it to AI there, and the AI double checks, Perplexity double checks, true, blah, check, and then you get a stamp. It's like approved by Perplexity, approved by Claude, and approved by the alien-based or hybrid community. That's true. And then the news become truthful. But essentially, we need somebody to trust, and at the moment, there is no one to trust. except me and Nadalee.
Yes, that's
Except
right.
our community. Yeah, light workers, new agers. There are people, everywhere are people to trust. But again, like because we are grassroots, it's impossible to infiltrate grassroots. But pretty much every organization at the top they have some sort of manipulation. So I hope that will change. We just need a little bit push from the positive side to actually reveal the negative manipulation, and then it becomes that by itself, revealing mind reading and revealing manipulation should solve the problems. But again, it's a gradual process.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the aliens come and somebody screams it's attack, and we attacked, and they lie. How do you know if you trust or not trust the aliens? So we basically would trust the telepaths, non-speaking telepathic autists. They are pretty much the gold standard for us, and we trust our own telepathy and intuition.
That's right. That's right. And I've been practicing my own telepathy too, Max. I've become very, very good at it. So
Yeah, we should do the practice.
yes, we should
You
all
and I.
practice.
Yeah, everybody is invited. Let's practice. My telepathy again. It's working for me when I really need it. Like if it's just a random test, it's really works. And sometimes it works nicely, but in special states and when we really need it, it sort of works much better. Okay, time to do the advertisement. We offer the genetic analysis of star seeds if you have. You pay for it. At the moment, MyHeritage offers the kits for $25, which is cheaper than ever. You get your genome analyzed, over 500,000 markers, and you give us the data, and we analyze and we look for abnormalities. At the moment, we invite full trios, father, mother, adult, child. Everybody has to sign informed consent, and we look for anomalies, and then we collect enough data. We'll publish the next set of results, and we're gradually moving there. There are people who are contacting us. Again, on this site, you can write to us. You can submit your history, submit your experience, and we are looking primarily for people who have experience with the aliens, who feel they are starseeds, that they experienced their parents experienced abductions and stuff like that. But we also accept individual samples. But at the moment, I can tell much more from the full trio, tons more, like 100 times more than from individual samples. But every sample is welcome. You can submit it to us, and we'll analyze it for free at the moment. And the plan is to make a series of interviews and videos with results from the genetic analysis, hypnotic regressions, and what else? What was the third
I think
element?
that's it. Yeah. I can't
Oh,
remember.
interviews with you, experiences. Yeah,
interviews.
interviews with you guys.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you can give an interview about your experiences, genetic analysis, and regressions, that would be 3 things together would be great.
Yep. Put it all together in the trio to help support the science.
So that would help the disclosure. That would help the contact.
That's right. And
Once the aliens are there, we are done. We don't need to prove that they
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah, we're gonna be like, okay, it's yesterday's stuff.
But
right now, it's today's stuff.
the analysis will evolve into science of extraterrestrial genetics, and a huge part is the humanity is choosing which aliens to hybridize with, which aliens to invite, and which path to take. We like Pleiadian, but again, there are some Lyran paths, Syrian, Arcturian, Draconian,
Lyran
Reptilian, the gray one, the hybrid ones, and an infinite number of other cultures.
Oh yeah.
Infinite number of other cultures. Insectoids, praying mantis ones. Pleiades rule. That culture is nice, and it's actually the Lemurian culture. Lemurian culture is a very natural, shamanic Lemurian culture with love and peace. Hippie culture. We're already here.
Yep. And if you are afraid of participating, from the
Yeah.
government tracking you, just know that they already know who we are from birth, pretty much. They've been tracking people. It's not like they can go and harass us all at the same time. So don't, we're not in any danger. If we were in any danger, Max's paper would not have been allowed to be published about the genetic findings. So we are in good standing right now. We are literally part of disclosure. So there are forces beyond our control that are, that are not going to interfere with us at this time. So if you guys want to participate, please do. Please go to xg1.org.
Yeah, and if you want anonymity, just create a new email account and Proton Mail and use a fake name. We don't care about your name. So you contact us from a fake name account, and then you can submit the samples with fake name.
Yeah, but you won't be able to be part of the interview if you want to.
Yeah, you can interview under a new name.
Yeah, I guess you could just black out into like a.
Or we can replace you with avatar.
Yeah. I think Miss Haxton has something to say.
I'm learning about the different alien, a different constellation of aliens, the differences and all that on my own, but I just wondered if this is the place, or your website, or do you recommend something where I could get the best information besides when I go directly? It's a slower process for me to learn, so I will do both.
Information about what exactly?
Oh, just the different alien races, and
Okay.
like I don't have as much familiarity as like you all do.
Oh, yeah, check out my books. The latest book is a guide through alien races. You can find it on maxrempel.com. It's called
Okay.
From the Galaxy with Love.
I'm going to order that as soon as we get done here.
I've been using like ChatGPT and like entering the Akashic records, reading, and just
There's
the sources, all kinds of sources. And
There's all
that way
kinds of
too, you
stuff.
can verify things and get different perspectives as well.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
textbook.
process.
I wrote a textbook for you, From the Galaxy with Love.
Okay.
It's
Sounds like a nice one.
it's about the alien races and the history of humanity and the nature of spiritual world.
Yeah, I'll be getting that for sure. I had no idea about that, Max. How many books have you written exactly?
3 big ones and a few small things.
All right.
Yeah, the next one is what we discussed now will be the next book, but at the
Nice.
moment I'm busy with genetic analysis, so it has to wait a little bit.
Yeah, the ETs told me I need to wait to write my book too. They're like, just write your book later. It's okay. It's not important right now because I'm still living it. So.
All right, I think we are. If anybody wants to turn on the camera before we close, that would be nice, and we'll stop the broadcast. Richard, Jordan, Ellen, and I will wave their hands, and we'll be done. I guess they went to sleep. All right. With that, I think we close. Do you guys want to do galactic languages, light languages for the closing?
Absolutely. Who's going to lead us off? Flip a 3-sided coin.
Lichan, do you speak galactic languages or light languages? Go ahead. Give us a blessing for the closing.
Oh, I think it. Hola, shiantere ba hola haki siyama hola hi siantere ba heshia la hola kasiantere. Ela hamasiantere ba koshantere ba siala. Ela hashia siantere ba hielo hola. Elia siantere ma hielo makasiantere ma elo hola kasiyama hayantere ma hielo kosiantere. Elo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nadalee?
Yes, as you probably know, I sing mine, so I'll sing you a little song. All right. Let me get some water real quick. Na sonato na mo na tranato sona manosum tomeana.
I will do mine. Anahayan nahayan 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 naulahan nahayan na 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 mama 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 hayan na 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 atayan na na Ohan na 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 ya na na hula na 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 Shamaya halahana ya humana mana 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 mana. All right, and we are closing. Thank you very much, everybody. You know how to find us. xg1.org is the key source, and you can find tons more links and information on maxrempel.com. And we also have a community, hucolo.org. Yeah, show it again. Nadalee,
It's
show
backwards.
yours.
Let me see if I can flip it.
Yeah, United Experiences Initiative. All right, so that's about it. Oh, do you have, Richard, do you have yours? No? Okay. All right, so you know how to find xg1.org and others.
Yeah, and if you want to join the United Experiences Initiative, just email me at contact.theuei@gmail.com. Just take a snapshot of that and flip it around in your phone or your computer. I can't reverse it right now.
That's perfect. It's visible.
And the phone number, you can contact me at that phone number too.
Excellent.
I wonder
Thank
if I
you.
can flip it backwards somehow.
All right. No, we see it right. We see it good.
Okay, good. Okay.
All right. At that, I close.